Welcome back. Well, Kashmir has been the flashpoint between India and Pakistan for more than 60 years, since independence from Britain in 1947. Since then, both countries have been to war twice over Kashmir, in 1947 and 1965. And in 1999, India fought a brief but bitter battle with Pakistan in the Kargil region of Indian-controlled Kashmir. In 2002, signs of armed conflict loomed large when both countries deployed their troops on the borderline. In early 2004, the two nuclear powers began peace talks over Kashmir. Islamabad says Kashmir should have become part of Pakistan because Muslims were in majority in the region. Pakistan also argues that Kashmiris should be allowed to vote in a referendum on their future, following numerous UN resolutions. India, however, doesn't want international debate on the issue, arguing that the similar agreement of 1972 provides for a resolution through bilateral talks. Well, let's welcome back our guests now. From Islamabad, Dr. Ghulam Nabi Faye. Also in Islamabad, Ahmed Qureshi, and in Delhi, Ashok Bhan. Ahmed Qureshi in Islamabad, let me start with you for the second part of the programme. I mean, President Musharraf had put forward this idea of a supervised independence for Kashmir, with India and Pakistan somehow acting as parent states. Is that still a workable solution, do you think?
Well, there are many solutions, and of course, President Musharraf's idea was not final. It did not have details. Those details were supposed to be worked out. This suggestion was supposed to spur negotiations and talks and build sort of ease between both sides, the Pakistanis and the Indians, so that they could move forward and take this idea forward and discuss the details. Unfortunately, we were hoping, of course, President Musharraf, let's remember, when he came up with these suggestions, he faced a lot of criticism inside Pakistan. There were people who even accused him of selling out on Kashmir. Now, of course, we expected in Pakistan, the hawks and the doves, expected India really to reciprocate, to discuss it, to move forward. Unfortunately, and bad luck to President Musharraf on this point, that the Indians did not react, even positively react to his suggestions, leaving him, actually embarrassing him in front of the domestic constituency, the hawks on the Kashmir policy. And as a matter of fact, now I must say this also to my Indian friend sitting right now in New Delhi, that you, my friend, all of you have wasted a great historical opportunity to resolve the Kashmir dispute. Not resolve it according to our wishes, the Pakistanis or just the Indians, but according to the wishes of all the parties involved, keeping your interests in view, Pakistani interest, and also the interest of the main stakeholder,
let's put that very point to Ashok Bhan in New Delhi. I mean, Ashok Bhan, has India missed a golden opportunity to resolve the issue of Kashmir? I mean, would Musharraf's proposal, I think it was in 2004, of a supervised independence have satisfied all parties, India, Pakistan, and the Kashmiris?
Let me tell my friends in Pakistan that India is a democracy of 60 years, and Indian democracy or democratically elected government would not take any solution from a military general who was a despot, who through a coup d'etat had come to power. It's the civil society on the both sides of Pakistan and India which has to resolve the bilateral issues. It's the democratic polity in both countries which has to. Army is only one of the components. Army is not the totality of the civil society in Pakistan. This is one. B, that now the negotiations are going on bilaterally between the two governments, and between Kashmir and Delhi also the negotiations are going on. The negotiations got stuck up because I am an insider. I have facilitated the negotiations between Kashmiris and New Delhi at some point of time, and we succeeded. And that is why Mirwais Umar and other factions of the separatist leadership came to Delhi, met Vajpayee, met Advani, and met Manmohan Singh. And today what has happened, after some political turmoil in Pakistan, the talks between New Delhi and Srinagar got stuck up. The peace process between India and Pakistan got stuck up. And now is the time when Kashmiris also are asserting that we must assert our entity within the larger entity.
Okay, all right.
Now is the time that Indian Prime Minister invite Kashmiri.
Gentlemen, we are running out of time, so I need to bring in back Dr. Ghulam Nabi Faye there in Islamabad for one quick point, because we are running out of time. Dr. Nabi Faye, a few years ago, Musharraf had offered to drop a 50-year demand for a referendum on Kashmir's future. in order to somehow meet India halfway. Is that still a way forward to resolve the Kashmir issue, the issue on the referendum?
No, not at all, because, you know, as my very dear friend Ashok Ban said, that the Constitution of India that gives right to the people of Kashmir, but he also knows that it was August 13th of last year, 2007, that the Hindustan Times, which has the circulation 4 times than the New York Times, Hindustan Times has a survey in Kashmir. 87%, according to the Hindustan Times, 87% of the people of Kashmir, they have rejected the Indian Constitution. They want the freedom from the occupation. And he also mentioned about the bilateral talks between India and Pakistan. Kashmir has never been the bilateral between India and Pakistan. Kashmir has always been the international. In fact, Kashmir issue became international the day the very Indian soldier set the foot on the soil of Kashmir. And more importantly, it was a person no less important than the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Helen Clark, who said on her way to India that we would like international community to understand that we do not accept India's contention that Kashmir is the integral part of India.
Okay,
so the people of Kashmir, they are...
Okay, let me just bring you back, Ahmed Qureshi in Islamabad there, just for a final thought before we go. Ahmed Qureshi, you're nodding your head. What's your thought on this issue of the referendum?
The Indians, our Indian friends, should not hide behind this democratic debate. You don't get to choose who you negotiate with inside Pakistan. And everybody should know, on Kashmir, the military institution, the civil society, the politicians, people here have a similarity of views when it comes to Kashmir. We might disagree on many things. Now, as far as the Kashmir dispute is concerned, the Indians did waste a historic opportunity. Now, the upper hand right now, as far as Kashmir is concerned, inside Pakistan, the debate right now, in the debate as far as is concerned, it's for the hawks on Kashmir. So the Indians need to really get, past this debate about, whether they want to discuss with the military or the politicians. Pakistanis pretty much think the same when it comes to Kashmir. And please get serious on resolving this issue. It's good for you. It's good for us.
Okay. Ashok Ban, very briefly, a final word from you. What is the way forward on Kashmir? Briefly, please. Briefly.
Way forward is to resolve bilaterally by peaceful means between India and Pakistan certain issues which are impending between the two civil societies. And between New Delhi and Srinagar, there has to be an intense, meaningful dialogue to resolve the issue. And then Kashmiri's future lies in vast resources of India and Pakistan both. And if Pakistan and India become friends, Kashmiri's future is safe.
All right.
Otherwise Kashmiris will either lean to India or to Pakistan.
Okay, that's fine. Let's get a final word from Dr. Ghulam Nabi Faye. Very briefly, what is the way forward to resolve Kashmir?
Yeah, the only way you really can resolve the issue of Kashmir, that is not to have the bilateral talks, because primarily the primary party to the conflict are the people of Kashmir. The talks from today onwards, it has to be tripartite between government of India and Pakistan and the leadership of the people of Kashmir. The leadership I am talking about should represent all the regions and all the religions of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And more importantly, there had to be the parameters that must be defined before going into the talks. And second important thing is that there must be time frame. And more importantly, the impact of the talks between India, Pakistan, and the Kashmiri people that must be felt on the streets of Kashmir. If that impact is there, the people of Kashmir, they are going to go for the talks. And if talks are tripartite, whatever the outcome of the talks between India and Pakistan, along with the Kashmiri leadership, that is going to be acceptable to the majority of the people of Kashmir in the whole state of Jammu and Kashmir on both sides of the ceasefire line.
All right, gentlemen, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. Dr. Ghulam Nabi Faye in Islamabad, Ahmed Qureshi also in Islamabad, and Ashok Ban in New Delhi. Gentlemen, thank you all very much indeed for your time. And thank you so much for joining us here on this edition of Inside Story. We, of course, welcome your comments and your suggestions. Please email them to us at insidestory@aljazeera.net. From the whole Inside Story team here, goodbye for now.